Hello and welcome to Poseidwn Tech. In today's video, we have a very unique product. It's from QNAP, the QGD-1600P. This is a managed PoE switch. It's layer 2 managed switch, but has HDMI port and PCIe, as well as QTS. Strange. So what is this device? We will use also these two Western Digital SSD for NAS. Let's check QNAP site for more details. So it is a PoE switch that runs QTS with support for virtual machines. So it's also a NAS, switch NAS. It can be used as your NVR or even a router. It can provide up to 60 watts through the layer 2 managed switch. For surveillance, it's the only device you may need. No additional switch, no NVR. It is scalable, since you can expand the storage, and it can provide enhanced security with integrated virtual router and firewall. Also, it can be used to host the UniFi controller. Regarding the hardware specifications, it includes a cellular processor and 8 GB of memory. It has 16 ports and 2 SFP ports that are combined with 2 RJ45 ports. All 16 RJ45 ports are capable of PoE and PoE+. Ports 1 to 4 are capable of PoE++, meaning that can deliver up to 60 W per port. Total power output is 360 watts. Maximum device power consumption is up to 418 watts. Total throughput is 16 Gbps and switching capacity is 32 Gbps. That's more or less the specs of the device. Now that we have more information about this device, let's see what is included in the box. But first, something very important.
If you like our tutorials, support our channel by clicking the subscribe button. Like and share our videos. And if our tutorials help you to grow your business, become a true member of Poseidwn Tech by clicking the join button. If you want to learn more about our services, visit our website.
Back to the device. Let's leave this box aside for a moment. So, this is the device, equipped with an LCD screen, an HDMI port, some USB ports, a host interface, 4 PoE++ ports, and 12 PoE+ ports, as well as 2 SFP ports that are combined with port 15 and 16 accordingly. Independent reset button for the switch and the NAS, and some LEDs for the host and the switch. In the back side of the device, we can find the power connection, the on-off switch, some ventilation holes, and the 2 slots for the PCIe cards. Inside the box, there is the power cord, a UTP cable, the screws for the drives, the rack mounting screws and brackets, some rubber feeds, and the quick starting guides. In order to install the drives, we need to remove 4 screws. 2 of them are located in the back and 1 on each side. Now we can open the cover. Inside the device, we can see the power supply, the heatsink and the fan for the CPU, the switch part, the 2 slots for the PCIe expansion cards, and the bracket for the drives. There are 3 screws that are holding this bracket, 1 in the back and 1 in each side. The last one is in this tight area. Now that we remove the brackets, it's time to install the drives. So let's open the boxes and remove the drives. We will use these small black screws. The drive goes like this, and the other one in the opposite direction. We need to secure the drives with these small screws. Now it's time to put the bracket back to the device with the drives. Secure it with the screws. And put the cover back in place. Also, we need to put the cover screws. It's time to connect the device to the network. We can either use the host port or any of the switch ports. Let's power up the device. As you can see, it makes some fun noise. System is booting up. Also, let's connect it to the network via port 15 of the switch. It takes some time in order to load the driver. Now that the switch and the NAS are booted up, we can use the LCD screen in order to find the IP address that are assigned to the adapter. We can see some information in the LCD screen like firmware version, the switch managed IP, and the IPs assigned to the NAS adapter. By pressing the enter button for 2 seconds, we can go to the main menu where we can find some additional information like TCP, the physical drives or volumes. We can have some system information like the temperature, some information regarding the fan speed, and we can even shut down the NAS, reboot it, or even change the password for the menu. Now it's time to go to the web interface of the switch. In order to do so, we need to navigate to the IP address we have seen on the screen as the IP address of the managed switch. The username we can use here is admin and the password is the MAC address of the first adapter. A lot of useful information we can see on the overview page. In the meanwhile, we have connected a small PoE device in order to see how we can measure the power consumption. In this case, we are using 1.4 watts out of 360 that are available. And this is in port 10. When you select a port from the list, it is highlighted in the graph. We can even change what is reported in each section of the screen. Several options are available. In the Devices section, we can see a history of the MAC address that are connected. If we press Scan, we can see all the MAC addresses that are available. In the Configuration section, we have also plenty of options. First of all, the ports, where we can have a status here. Here we can see the 2 adapters for the NAS. Also some statistics regarding the ports. And of course the ports configuration. We can set up the speed and the maximum frame size. Similar interface for the PoE. An overview of the consumption, the configuration, and even a PoE schedule in order to create our own schedule. Here we can see the VLANs. We can create a new VLAN. Same approach for the link aggregation. We can make our own groups here. Some statistics regarding the traffic. The IGMP snooping. The quality of service. The port mirroring. The loop protection, and some information about the system management, some temperatures of the switch, fan speeds, and finally some settings. Here we can set up the IP address, the password, the time and factory set it. Finally, we have an option about the host control management. Here we can start, restart, or even shut down the host. As we said, the switch is independent of the NAS, so if you shut down the NAS, it will not affect your switch. Now it's time to configure our NAS. In order to do so, we need to navigate in one of the IP addresses we have seen in the LCD screen that are assigned to the adapters of the NAS. In our case is the IP address 17. Apart from the LCD screen, we have also an additional method to find out which IP address has been assigned to the QNAP NAS. In order to do so, we need to visit install.qnap.com. If the list is empty, we need to press rescan. Just have in mind that your computer needs to be on the same subnet as the NAS. After some seconds, the NAS will appear in this list. Okay, here it is. As you can see, it has been assigned the IP address 192.168.2.17. We can press initialize button here and will be navigated to the page we were before. We have here a prompt to create a QNAP ID. We can skip this for now and press create later. Okay, and we are on the same page we were before. Okay, so let's start the smart installation. Here we need to provide a name for the NAS and create a password for our administrator. Have in mind that this password and this account is only for local usage, since we have skipped the option to create the QNAP ID, which will provide us the option to have remote access. Press next. Here we can select our time zone. We can sync with a time server and press next. In this step we can configure the IP address, either automatic via DHCP or a static IP. We have 3 adapters for the NAS. Next step. In this step we can configure which platform we need to support, Windows, Mac or Linux. We'll select all of them and press next. An overview of our settings and then apply. Here a notification that all our drives will be cleared and the process starts. The whole process will take around 10 minutes. At this point, this error message appears. This is normal due to the fact that we have not created our QNAP Cloud ID. We just need to go back to the IP address of our NAS. Now we need to log in using the username and password we created before. Press continue. And our QTS environment is ready. A firmware update is available, so let's update the device. When the firmware update finishes, we need to restart our NAS. And after the reboot, we are ready. Now we are updated to the QTS version 4.5.1, which is the latest one. Our NAS is ready. We will go through more details about the QTS and the functionality it provides in some next videos. Here in the dashboard, we can see some information about the resources, CPU and RAM. No storage yet in our case, since we have not created our volumes. And this is the main control panel. At this point, it's very important to highlight that we have two operating systems running on the same device. We have the QTS, which is our NAS, and we have also the QSS, which is our switch. So we have two devices in one. It is a switch, but it is a NAS as well. Probably the best device for home lab and home automation. At this point, I would like to thank QNAP and CPI, QNAP's authorized distributor in Greece, for providing us QGD-1600P for this tutorial. Thank you for watching this video. See you.